what I would like to do with this exercise is essentially when you draw in this particular project of drawing from observation, I want you to draw in a similar way that you might actually speak, were you to have to explain to someone, perhaps on the telephone, what it is you're looking at, without trying to be too poetic, but you actually just said there's a light source in the distance, and there's another light source predominantly coming from the right hand side. There's an object in front which is partly in shade and partly lit, and etc., that you actually get to the kind of point of what's actually happening as far as the light's concerned, as opposed to it's a chair and a floor, etc. But what's going on formally with light, and I want you to try and draw with that in mind, with that simplicity or that directness in mind. So I'm going to start something now, and with that, bearing that in mind, I'm going to go right to the end, what I consider to be of my composition, where there is a window right there, and I'm just going to put it in, and around the window, as you can see, just start with a very simple version. It's slightly darker, and that goes round, and that hits. Now, all of this clearly isn't the end of the drawing, but the beginning. And I'm not working from the back going out to the front. So here we go. So again, I think on the camera you can't see as much contrast as I can actually see with my eyes now. But I know that that is lighter than the rest. So what I'm going to do quickly, just so I know, I'm going to put the rest of it, make the rest of it darker. So I'm gradually moving, and we come down to the door. The door starts here, and that isn't parallel. The step going down into the kitchen isn't parallel, it's slight an angle. And in the kitchen it's lighter, but not as light as outside, so I'm going to make it darker. So I'm just putting that back. That's a bit higher up. Right, coming back into the room, there's light shining through here into that room. You see that? That's falling back down there. The room is suggesting, the floorboard suggesting perhaps a different angle. Let's have a look. Goes in there. Get this out of the way so I can. So I'm covering the surface fairly quickly. Now you can see on the side, just there, there's a light hitting, the light source coming out from this side. There's that window starts from under there, around about here. Just find out where the actual window is. There it is. So basically, from here, there's the other light source going through there. And then you've got, I'm just breaking it down into its most simplified shapes here. There's a curtain hanging and lights hitting it. So I'm going to leave I'm going to not touch where the light's hitting it, and I'll just darken it back down without moving too much. Right, blocking it. The most essential thing is light coming from there, light coming from there, shining back in here. Just put these. And here in front, you have this object, the chair. I'm going to find out where that, okay, that hits there. Double check that. Right here, essentially it almost hits like a silhouette. So I'm doing the whole picture at the same time. Look, the light shining through there, it hits here and then here. This is the curtain coming down. All of this is in shadow. Nothing here, apart from that light there, none of that shadow is as bright as that. Okay, so I'm just immediately putting that in. Here's the side of the door. It's a vertical, that's a diagonal. All of that there's nothing to say I can't go back and change all of this, but this is like, I'm just observing light, areas of light and dark, basically. So I'm taking a line down from there. The chair actually comes all the way out to there. Double check that. No, it doesn't, does it? I haven't got a clue anymore. Door goes as far as there, out. So I can find the step of the chair down there somewhere. Let's have a look. Yeah, here. So the angle of this chair, not just the angle of it, but the darkness of it is quite important, I would say. Chair, width of the chair. So this is like silhouette. So I'm going to make it look like that immediately. It kind of it helps me. Oh, that goes out of the picture. Inside, now you've got some shadows going past here. You've got the curve of this table, which goes past the door, doesn't quite hit the chair, and goes round. So you can sort of talk your way through the drawing, and it's obviously not as bright as the window, nor is this. So I'm just immediately going to put that in. I'm sure that's a chair going up here. Find out. So in this short period of time, see, I'm interested at this moment in the sort of anatomical detail as far as proportion is concerned, rather than structural details or patterns of the chair and the floorboards or whatever. I'm trying to work out what's happening when the light interacts, hits the objects, and navigate. See, that doesn't, if that would be there. Yeah, that's where the window starts, up here, which means the chair goes down to there. I've got to move it again. Any sense at all? Oh, it's much lower down. Yeah, blimey. Making a big change here. Yeah. Wow. Chair's bigger. So I'm doing very quickly, but my attention is very much to do with getting the angles correct and mapping out what's going on with the light fall. Now, if I don't get this right, it's not going to make any sense to me as far as where that window is now. I've got to find that out again. I think I've done that too. It starts there, to be honest. Right, the window's there. That's light, and then that goes in here, and then the curtain comes in there, which would make more sense to my attempt at finding the chair, because the hair. So I'm trying to use these points to navigate work out where the back of the chair is. If that's the back of the chair there, and that's in the darkness, and that comes down, it stops about there. I mean, as you can see, I'm not being too, well, I am actually being careful. I'm not being prissy with it. I seem to, I care where it's into the relationship to everything. For me, it's important in this project, in this particular exercise, to get it right, the proportion of the size of the chair in relationship to the door. I think that's a worthy cause here, and it helps in, if you make that your only goal to begin with, it might take you somewhere else that you wouldn't normally have gone were you to have not taken it seriously or just thought it not that important. I want you to find that element actually very important, because it will help you experience something else, another way of perhaps realizing an image, drawing, looking at things. I've got to move the leg to here. Using a darker pencil. That comes up here, it goes across. See, that's much more.
11.
Okay, get that in there. See, all of a sudden, despite what's happening to the page, I'm feeling more satisfied personally with actually getting closer to the proportions, and therefore it's not just an academic achievement in that sense, it's about trying to, I don't know, look really rigorously at the relationships between things rather than just being satisfied with your first attempt, which is nothing wrong with that. But in this particular, if you like, this particular exercise, I want you to get very quickly to the point. So proportion and light are, now go back again. Oops. Run out of pencils. Yep, no, I haven't. I'm making some kind of, I'm responding to these different marks that I can see outside because I want the eye to go out as the eye does go out. I mean, I'm looking here. It's not, I don't want you to look as if you know it already. I just want you to look for clues to explain what you're looking at. And clues just at this particular phase to explain the space. And whatever happens psychologically after that, one does not know yet, do they? But it's, every mark I'm making here is an attempt to explain the depth, proportion, and the light. The light explains the depth of the proportion as well. So this is for my VUCA students. Take a few of these and see how you go with it. Good luck.